Today we are going to learn a very memorable poem, Wind by Subramanya Bharati. Born on 11 December 1882 and died on 12 September 1921. It means Subramanya Bharati belongs to the 20th century when our country was not free. So Subramanya Bharati was not only poet but also an Indian independence activist and a social reformer. He was a pioneer of Tamil poetry. Actually, the poem is written in Tamil, but this Tamil poem is translated into English by A.K. Ramanujan. A.K. Ramanujan. Here, the poet says that wind is sometimes constructive and sometimes destructive. When constructive, when any man is strong, and when destructive, and when the wind shows destruction, when any person is weak. It is very natural phenomenon that weak persons are oppressed or tortured by the strong people. Very natural. Wind is also a natural phenomenon which blows softly as well as strongly. Wind blows softly for whom? For the strong people. And wind blows strongly for whom? Who are the weak people. Here in this poem, the poet shows the destruction caused by wind. Here in this poem, the poet shows the power of wind. In the first stanza, the poet is making a request to wind. Here in this poem, the poet is talking to wind. The poet makes a request. Wind, come softly. Wind, blow softly. This is a humble request made by the poet to wind. And he also says that don't break the shutters of the windows. The poet makes a request not to break the panels of the window. The panels of the window, you can see the panels. This is a request in the first stanza. And the poet also makes a request not to scatter the papers. And he also makes a request not to throw down the books on the shelf, the books which are kept on the shelf. You see here, wind shows power to whom? The weak things. Shutters, panels of the windows. The wind shows The power to whom? To the papers. The wind shows power to the books, only to the weaklings, only to the weak things. So in these 4 lines, we find that the poet makes a request. Now see here, poetic device. Poetic device is anaphora. What is anaphora? The repetition of any word or group of words in 2 or more consecutive lines. Here we find the repetition of any particular word in 3 consecutive lines. Don't. So this is called anaphora. Okay. First, anaphora. Second thing, we find here that personification. Here, the wind is not a non-living thing. The wind is treated as a person. So, if anything is treated as a person, that is called personification. Okay? And now see here, alliteration also. What is alliteration? Alliteration means the repetition of same consonant sound at the beginning of words. See here, alliteration. Wind winnows. Here W and W. This is alliteration. The repetition of same consonant sound at the beginning of words. W. This is called alliteration. What is alliteration? The repetition of the same consonant letter or sound at the beginning of words. See another example of alliteration. Und, what? W. This is called what? Alliteration. Now once again we find here anaphora. You are. Repetition of any word or group of words in 2 or more consecutive lines. This is called what? Anaphora. Okay. 2 examples of anaphora and 2 examples of alliteration. Okay. Now third poetic device we find here, repetition. Repetition of any word, crumbling. To lay emphasis on any particular idea. What is repetition? Repetition is the repeated words to create what? Emphasis on any idea. Crumbling. Okay. Now once again we find here poetic device. symbolism. What is symbolism? Symbolism means symbol of one thing to show other things. Symbol of wind shows the symbol of power. And one more poetic device we find here. There is no any rhyme scheme. What is rhyme scheme? You know? Perhaps you don't know. I am telling you. The rhyme scheme is the sameness of sound at the end of the line. Okay. Suppose that wind and seed. So repetition of the same consonant, sound or letter. So this will be A. This type of use is called rhyme scheme. Here we don't find this type of use. Softly, another sound. Windows, another sound. Papers, another sound. Safe, another sound. Down, another sound. Books, another sound. Again, another sound. Weaklings, another sound. So no any rhyming effect, rhyming poetic effect, rhyming musical effect. But here musical effect, wind, bee and seed. Okay, this is rhyme scheme. So the poem is written in free verse. So this type of poetic device we find here: anaphora, personification, alliteration, repetition, symbolism, and free verse. Symbolism means symbol of one thing that shows another thing. Okay. Now we come to the poem. First stanza, the poet makes a request. And in these lines, complain. Here we find complain. The poet complains to the wind. There, look what you did. What you have done. You threw them all down. You threw all the books from the shelf. What you have done? This is a complaining tone of the poet to the wind. You tore the pages of the books. You have done very wrong thing. What you have done? You have torn the pages of the books. You brought rain again. This is the complaint of the poet. And now here we find what? Blame. In these lines, the poet is blaming the wind. What is the blame made by the poet against wind? You are very clever. Very clever at poking fun. Poking fun means making fun. Making fun. Here the poet is blaming the wind. You are very clever and you are making fun of weak things. Weaklings means weak things. Very clever. You show the power to the weak things only. If you have the power, then blow Mount Everest. You blow the river from this side to the other direction of the area if you have power, but you can't do that. You can't throw the river from this place to another place. You can't throw the Himalayas from one place to the other because they are powerful things. but you are showing power and you are making fun, you are poking fun at doing things. This is how the poet blames the wind. And this is the reality of the society, that strong people show the power to the weak things, to the weaklings. This is the reality. Where you are showing power? Frail. Frail means weak. You are showing power at the weak. Crumbling. Crumbling means falling. Where you are showing the power at the frail, at the weak, falling houses. The houses are already falling and you are showing power to the falling houses. So this is not the real strength, real power that you are showing. If you have the power, show your power to the strong things, like a mountain, like the river or anything. You are showing power at the crumbling doors. The doors are already falling, already crumbling, already breaking. You are showing power to the crumbling rafters. Rafters means beams. Beams that support the roof. You see in your house the beams that support the roof. You are showing power there, to the crumbling, to the breaking, to the falling. Beams that support the roof. The house is already breaking and you are showing power to those breaking rafters, to those breaking beams. This is not good thing. So here the poet is blaming. You are showing power where? To the breaking wood. Wood is already breaking. Crumbling body. Some persons are already very weak and they anyhow walk and you push by your power and the person is fallen. You are showing power there. Where? To the crumbling bodies. A person, old person, is walking with the help of a stick, with the help of lathi, and you show your power to that crumbling bodies. This is not fair. Crumbling lives. The person is already dying and you are showing power there. Crumbling heart. The persons who are already heart patients and you are showing power there. You are roaring, you are jumping, and you make those persons who are already patients of heart, you are showing power there. This is not fair. So this in this way we show that in these lines the poet blames the wind. This is the reality, this is the nature, that if any person is powerful, he shows power to the weaklings, to the weak things. The wind god, here the god is compared with, here God is who? Wind god. Wind god does what? Winnows. Winnows means blows husk. Have you seen the thresher machine? And what happens in the thresher machine? That husk are blown away because the husk very weak and the grain fall down. Grain is strong, they are heavy, so they fall down, and husk very light, weak, blown away. So the wind god, we know, in villages also you may see the thresher machine, and sometimes you also see the women taking the winnowing basket and throwing the grain, and what is a husk? Husk is blown away and the grain falls down. You have seen in villages. The wind god winnows means the wind god blows the whom? Husk means weak people. Weak people and crushes them all. Now the poet comes to the conclusion that he won't do. Here he. Wind is treated as person. So what is poetic device? Personification. He won't do what you tell him. The poet here suggests us that the wind will not do what we tell him. That, oh wind, come softly, blow softly. He will not grant your request because he will show his power to whom? To the weaklings, to the weak persons. He won't do what you tell him. He will not grant. What is the final suggestion by the poet to us? So come, let's build strong homes. We should build strong homes. If our homes are strong, then the homes will not be blown away by the power of wind. If our houses are crumbling, already falling, already breaking, then the houses will be blown away. But the strong homes will not be blown away. So this is the suggestion by the poet to us. Come, let's build strong homes. It means we have to be strong. And you know that strong persons make friendship with strong people. Weak persons make friendship with weak things. Intelligent students make friendship with intelligent students. Okay, naughty students make friendship with naughty students. So if we are strong, then the wind will also make a friendship with us. This is what the poet means to say. Come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Our doors are crumbling. They are already falling because the hinges are rusty. Hinges with which the doors are joined. So we should make our doors firmly, strongly. Hinges should be strong. Hinges, you know, with which help the doors and panels are fastened or joined. Practice to form the body. Practice to form the body. So we should make regular exercise to make our body firm, to make our body strong. If we take exercise daily, then our body should be strong. Our body will be strong. So we should practice to make our body firm, to make our body strong. This is the suggestion. Make the heart steadfast. Not only we have to make our body strong, we have to make our heart also very steadfast, very firm, very strong. So we should be heartily strong and we should be physically strong. Okay, we should be mentally strong and we should be physically strong. Mentally tough and physically strong. If we are powerful, then the powerful wind also will develop friendship with us, because he tortures only the weaklings. He tortures only the weak people. Do these things. What things? That we have to make our body firm, we have to make our body strong, we have to make our heart strong, firm. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. Then the wind will develop friends. Friends means friendship with us. Okay, this is the suggestion. 4 lines are left. So In the poem, we find that the poet shows that wind blows strongly and causes a lot of destruction. So, how can we make a friendship with it? This is a suggestion, and we find that the weak people break down due to the power of wind, but strong people face the challenges thrown by the wind, and they become stronger and stronger, and this is how the strong people are able to develop friendship with the strong wind. This is the message. The wind blows out weak fires. When there is weak fire, small fire is blown out, small fire is extinguished by the blowing of wind, small fire is extinguished. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. You must have seen the fire caught in the forest. So if there is fire in the forest, then we find a strong fire, and at the time wind is blowing, wind is strong and the fire is strong, because fire has got many trees, and fire is burning many trees, and it becomes strong, and the wind is also strong. So strong wind develops friendship with a strong fire. I have already told you that the weak persons develop friendship with the weak persons, strong persons develop friendship with the strong persons. Here we find a strong fire caught in the fire develops friendship with a strong wind, and when strong fire gets company of the strong wind, then the fires roar and flourish, develops, spread. His friendship is good. So if we want betterment, then we have to develop friendship with wind. And how we can develop friendship with wind? When we are strong, only then we can develop friendship with wind, when we are strong. And if we are strong, if we have developed friendship, then we praise him every day, because we praise our friends also, because they are our friend. No, he is my friend, she is my friend, and wind is also here my friend. When? By becoming strong. So what is the message? If we have to get betterment, then you have to be strong. Only then you can face the challenges thrown by any strong people, by any strong wind also, and you can overcome by those challenges. But if the person is weak, then he is broken down, he gets nervous, he dies, ultimately he dies. So we should be mentally tough and physically strong. That's all. Thank you.